Hey, today in class, with the ones of us who were in class together today, we did wasted water. And you may have done wasted water at home also. And you may have been thinking, well, I couldn't figure out a way to graph it. And so I thought I would show you what we did in class today, and this might help you. We first recorded our data because our question was, how can I create and record data? And so here's a way that we can record our data. So we took our trials. So we had 6 trials, and at first we put them by seconds, but then we realized, well, we really could just put like trial number 1. And we divided our paper. And then we had trial number 2 and divided our paper. Trial number 3 and divided our paper. Trial number 4 and trial number 5 and trial number 6. And I think maybe on the video, we talked a little bit about this earlier. So in trial number 1, Brooke happened to be pouring the water while Braden was timing. And so it was 10 seconds. And on this side, so we have our trials, and on this side, we had our milliliters that were being wasted. So I think the first one, hopefully I can remember exactly, pretty sure the first one was 300 milliliters. And trial number 2, when Braden set the timer the second time for 10 seconds, then it was 200 milliliters, I'm pretty sure. And then we had 350 milliliters. Oh, one time, I think I've got these backwards. I think this one was 400. And then we had 350 and 350 and then 300, I'm pretty sure again. So we had 6 trials because we were looking to see how much water would be wasted in 1 minute while you were brushing your teeth if you left the water on. So if the water's still running, we did these in 10-minute trials. So 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30, 40, 50, 60. Seconds, sorry, not minutes. That would be way long. Seconds. And so these were 60 seconds, which is the same as 1 minute. So this was the amount of milliliters that was wasted. So now we were trying to think, okay, we could turn that into a graph. And so we used the data that we made on our recording chart, and we made a graph. And everyone just tried making the graph that they thought would work the best. Now, we've been working on line plots, and so we were very familiar with line plots, but line plots are not data that is changing over time, and this data was changing. And so we knew that we needed a different type. Now, on your slideshow, I linked in a video of a graph and how to make line graphs. And so we decided, well, we thought we could do a line graph. So we knew that we needed to put our trials somewhere, and we need to put the milliliters wasted somewhere. So we tried it several different ways. We decided that, well, we had 6 trials, so we could put just the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not very straight, but and then we also knew that we could try the milliliters, and we did milliliters. So the smallest amount was 200. So we decided to have 200, then 300, then 400. And we could really stop there because we don't have any bigger than 400. And so then we looked at our trials, and we knew how to plot a point. because we did it with Miss McGrath in her earlier lesson, and we had practiced plotting points a little bit today. And so in trial number 1, it was 300 milliliters. In trial number 2, it was 200 milliliters. In trial number 3, we had 400 milliliters. In trial 4 and 5, we had 350. So in trial 4, we're like here in the middle. And in trial 5, we were also there in the middle. And then in trial 6, we were at 300. And so now that we have the points plotted, then we could connect them. So we connected. Okay. And so then we have a line graph of the data that we recorded. Now, we still needed a few things here because no one would know what this is talking about, right? We need a title. And the guys in class today said, well, they would just title it Wasted Water. So we put Wasted Water. As our title. And then these numbers represented milliliters of water wasted. So we labeled it over here. Milliliters of wasted water. And at the bottom, these numbers, they were our trials. And they represented 10 seconds apiece. So we said 10-second trials. Okay, so now we knew that, well, we could look at the data that we had recorded on a recording sheet that we just made up ourselves. And then we could display our data using this line graph. So our question had been, how can I create and display data? And now we know, oh, well, I can create a line graph to display the data. And in this line graph, we could look at it quickly and see, well, how much water was wasted altogether. We could look at this and see, well, which trial was the most water wasted. And we could talk about some variables, like the fact that, well, maybe she was pouring faster in one trial than another. Maybe when you're brushing your teeth, you might turn the faucet and have it faster at one time or another. So there were some variables that could change our data. But so if you did this today, hopefully you enjoyed it. There are questions on your slideshow and an exit ticket for you to work on. And then here is an example of one way that you could have graphed your data. Okay, so now check the line graph that you made. Check to see if you have a title, wasted water. Check to see if you have labels. So, sorry, I have labels at the bottom, 10-second trials. Check to see if you have a label down this side, milliliters of wasted water. And check to be sure that you started in the corner and that you connected all of your points. So now you're finished with this line graph.